I get it every time I scroll through a car lift listing. I see that glossy picture of a sleek steel frame, a promise of 6,000 pounds capacity, and a price tag that looks like a bargain. Then I picture the first time I'd actually need to raise a truck or a heavy SUV in my garage, and I imagine the lift wobbling, the hydraulic pump whining, or the safety locks giving me that gut punch feeling that something could give way. Those "it looks great online but feels cheap in the shop" moments are what make me hit pause before I click add to cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What I tried to do before I even thought about buying the BendPak MD6XP was ask myself 3 things. Will it actually fit in my garage doorway and still let me drive the car onto it? Will the hydraulic system be smooth enough that I don't have to spend half an hour priming it before each job? And finally, does the safety mechanism really lock the lift in place, or am I just trusting a piece of metal to hold a 6,000-pound beast? Those are the real concerns that turn a good-looking spec sheet into a decision you can live with. First off, the overall footprint. This is a mid-rise scissors lift, meaning the arms open about 30 inches at their highest point. For most home garages with a standard 9-foot ceiling, you'll have enough headroom to raise a sedan or even a light-duty truck without hitting the ceiling. The real trick is the portable claim. The frame folds down into a more compact shape and the wheels lock into place, so you can actually roll it out of the shop, load a vehicle, then fold it back and store it behind a workbench. In my own experience, that portability saved me a full day of rearranging tools just to make room for a permanent lift. If you're renting a garage or you only need a lift a few times a year, the ability to tuck it away is a genuine value driver. Now let's talk about the hydraulic side. The MD6XP uses a dual master hydraulic cylinder. That design isn't just a marketing buzzword, it means 2 pistons work together, cutting the pressure needed from each side and smoothing out the lift's movement. When I first cranked the pump, the lift rose at a steady pace without the jerky start-stop that some cheaper lifts have. The pump handle feels solid, and the hydraulic fluid doesn't foam up, which is a sign that the internal seals are well machined. The trade-off, however, is that you have to keep an eye on the fluid level. The reservoir sits at the rear of the unit, and if you forget to top it up after a heavy use day, the lift can start to feel sluggish. It's not a huge hassle, but it's a maintenance step you need to remember. Safety is the word that shows up a lot in forums, and for good reason. The MD6XP comes with powerful safety lock bars that automatically engage as the lift reaches each preset height. I tested the lock by raising the lift to the 12-inch position, then gently nudging the car forward. The bars held firm, no creep, no wobble. The design uses a spring-loaded mechanism that clicks into place, so you get tactile feedback that the lock is engaged. The downside is the lock bar travel is limited to 3 positions: low, mid, high. If you need a very precise lift height for a custom suspension job, you might find yourself adjusting the car's jack stands a bit after the lift is set. Most DIYers won't notice this, but professional shops that require exact clearances could see it as an extra step. Who should actually consider this lift? If you're a hobbyist who spends a weekend a month swapping tires, changing brake rotors, or doing a quick engine rebuild on a sedan, a 6,000 pounds capacity gives you plenty of headroom for future upgrades. The portability means you can keep the lift in the garage and pull it out only when you need it, leaving the rest of your space free for tools and parts. The lock bars and dual hydraulic cylinders make the lift feel secure enough to work underneath a car without the anxiety that sometimes comes with cheaper models. In short, it's a solid match for the serious weekend mechanic who wants a professional-grade lift without committing to a permanent fixture. On the flip side, if you run a high-volume shop that lifts trucks, SUVs, and heavy equipment back-to-back all day, the mid-rise design may limit how high you can work on larger chassis. The 3 lock positions could slow you down when you need a very specific height for a complex drivetrain job. Also, the need to monitor hydraulic fluid means you'll want a routine checking at the end of each shift, which is an extra task you wouldn't have with a fully sealed electric lift. In those cases, a full-rise hydraulic or electric lift with more height options might be a better investment. One practical strength that often gets glossed over is the solid steel frame support bars. They're